Yeah, once again, it's nice to know that you are still there and you are with us in the discussion on the farming system. With great joy, I welcome you to today's podcast. We really will want to hear from you. We want you to give us a feedback, improve on. We also look forward to that. If you have questions you want us to look at, send your views, your opinion. In our previous podcast, we talked about identifying the risk involved in every farming system. We talked about the marketing risks, a change in the market operation. Today we will be rounding up this section on farming system, and we'll be ending with how to manage the risk involved in your farming operation. There are 4 areas we will be looking at. The first one we want to talk about in managing our farming system is enterprise diversification. There is need for us to try as much as possible to diversify our operation. Even if you are running a mono system, you are running a monocropping system, there is still need for you to diversify your operation. You can diversify your operation by planting different varieties of seeds. The reason why it's so is because different varieties of seed, even though subject to the same climatic conditions, subject to the same pest infestation, they will still react differently. So it gives you an opportunity to expect even a different result. There are times you might be forced to have a product mix even of a variety that doesn't have a capacity to produce in terms of yield with other varieties you have. But it might be strong, it might have a capacity to withstand harsh climatic conditions. So these are factors that we take into consideration when making those kind of decisions. We are not only driven by yield and by profit, we are also driven by capacity to withstand challenges, capacity to withstand and manage the risk factor. Another way we can introduce diversification also is in products. We can, instead of going monopolistic in choosing your particular crop, you can choose to have a mixed cropping system where we can come up with a farm design and draw up a production plan where we can have a mixture of 2 or more crops. Imagine you are having a 20-hectare farm. There's need. Why do I have to go monopolistic even if it looks as if very profitable? I can also choose to look at other crops. Fine. In making this decision also, there is also a risk factor. You have to look at crops that are complementary, crops that pollination of one will not affect the other, crops that their interaction cannot serve, that cannot be negative in the operation of the other. There is need for us to also take that into consideration when we make those kind of decisions. The same thing goes with animal husbandry. You can choose to operate different varieties. You can choose to operate different kinds of animals in your farm. At the end of the day, one is able to manage the outcome. The second part we also use to manage risk, this is much talked about all the time, is farm insurance. There is need for you to incur a little additional cost, but the insurance cost is a cost that is avoidable. Yes, it's true. The insurance cost is a cost that is avoidable, but the day you are going to have a hit, you are not going to get a notice. You might wait for 25 years, you might not get a notice, but the day it just happens, and that closes the lifetime work that you have been doing. So the advice is get a farm insurance. It's just a little fraction, it's an additional cost, quite all right, but if you have to deal with the challenge of survival, you'll be grateful you took such decision. Then there's another area which is also a part of the major challenge that also comes in farm operation system is a guaranteed market. Having a guaranteed marketing system, having a certainty that your products will be sold at the end of the day, that there's a demand, a guaranteed demand for your product. One of the best way you can manage such is contact production. Being able to have a guaranteed market before you embark on production. Being able to reach out to a market beforehand, find out the demand, get into an agreement, agree on standards, and prepare your production in order to meet such standard. And there is a market ready to receive it. At times, this market might be a specialized market, which alone also can have its own disadvantage by reducing the amount of people you can reach out to because of the specialized nature of the need of the product. But one of the things it does is that it guarantees you a market. The fourth part, which is also a way we can manage the risk factor we raised in technology, is evaluating new technology. You don't just jump out to embrace a new technology because of what the producers of the technology has put up. You need to ask yourself questions. How does this affect my operation? Do I have the skilled manpower that can operate this technology? Is this technology able to adapt to my environment? What is this technology able to adapt to my present operating system? If I have to infuse this technology into my operating system, will I incur additional costs? Does my business have the capacity to incur additional costs? We have seen a lot of people acquire a lot of new technology into their operating system, but they cannot use it because it doesn't fit into the present operating system they are running. So what do they have to do? They have to make up their mind because they can't afford to incur all the additional costs implications that will make this new technology operational in their system. So most of the time this technology is acquired and is just left idle within the farm. You incur costs, you increase your cost of production, you increase your cost of servicing operations, and yet it doesn't add any value to your business. These are part of the way. Then finally, even as we wrap up this section, there is need for us to understand that health is wealth. Health is wealth. There is need for us to ensure that we are able to keep a mental body system that is intact, that we are healthy at all times. We ensure that we manage our mental health system, we ensure that we manage our physical health system, we ensure that our emotional health system is balanced at all times, because it is the person who is healthy that will make a wealthy decision. So we want to encourage us to do everything we need to do to make sure, to ensure that we run a healthy lifestyle. This will also determine how our businesses will flourish. I want to say a very big thank you for joining us throughout this past 10 podcasts that we have been focusing on the farming system. I'm very certain you have said a few things that will stir up a thought in your operation. We're looking forward to sharing on a new subject matter that will be very interesting, that will add value to your business in the next section that will be commencing. Have a productive day. Thank you. You can go to our social media handles at OnePlot. You can equally send us an email on justoneplot@gmail.com. And you can also visit our website www.justoneplot.com. We will appreciate and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.